Hello and welcome. This is Sandra Hart. Today our conversation is going to be about something that so many in our community have asked me throughout the years, both young and old. And that big $24,000 question is there a secret to longevity? This is what we're going to be talking about today. Is there a secret to longevity? That's a question that I've been asked a lot. And believe it or not, the older I get, the more I think about longevity. A lot of it has to do with genetics, we know. And we also know that it has to do with diet, exercise, and keep moving. Lately they've been talking a lot about, if you don't move, it's a death sentence. So you have to keep moving, getting up and walking and being active and doing things. But I really believe that longevity is a lot deeper than that. And as I said, the older I get, the more I think about it. And I think about maybe the secrets to longevity, if there is one. And I know that longevity, a lot of times, is up here. It is how you feel about life. So it is whether or not you have a spirit of life and a positivity about life. All of those things are extremely important because I do know, and I have believed this my whole life, we are not only what we eat, but we are what we think. If we can get up in the morning with this wonderful, positive thought of positivity, whether it's to get up and enjoy the sunrise, whether it's getting up so that you can run down and have that first cup of tea or coffee, or to say hello to your dog, or to give your spouse or loved one a kiss. And as your feet hit the floor, if you can start off your day, no matter how crappy yesterday was, if you can start off that day with just one little glimmer, a little flame of positivity, I really think that helps an awful lot. Because when we think positive and we have a purpose for that day, it keeps our endorphins high. And all those endorphins are healing your body and making you feel wonderful. I know it's hard because there are days when I think it's kind of hard to get out of bed. But I always force myself, and I try so hard. And I know this is not, you can't be perfect. Every day cannot be la, la, la. But on the whole, if you can start your day with a positive mindset, it really helps a lot, I think, to get through this life, our storms and our rainbows and everything involved with living, because how we start our day has a big influence on how we're going to feel all that day. And sometimes when you have a positive attitude, it keeps away all of the negativity, because it's like a magnet. Negativity can stick to you. And if you have a negative mindset, it seems like so many things can go wrong in your life if you always think of things that are going, that bad things are going to happen to you. Also, if you have a joyful spirit, that helps us get through life. Finding joy in just one tiny thing in your life really helps you get through life a lot better. Do you know what is one of the biggest silent killers in life today? That's loneliness. Today, I think people are more isolated than ever. We're living in a world where our children have to go where work is. We're living in a world where people are stuck in their homes or at their computers or on their cell phones, and they are not reaching out and communicating with one another. It is so tragic. I think social media and iPhones and all of that is just wonderful, but in a way it has contributed to a greater sense of loneliness with young people, with people that are my age. It has isolated so many of us because we don't have to travel to see one another. We don't have to pick up an old-fashioned telephone to talk to one another. We can just text one another on the phone. And I do believe that that could be the downfall of society. And I know that's a very, very big thought. But loneliness is running rampant throughout the world because of the isolation that we all feel with technology and with COVID that would happen before. We all need to be around with like-minded people, people that lift us up, people that make us feel good about ourselves, people that make us feel good about living and about life itself. Do not isolate yourself, no matter what it is. And I said, if you have a pet, if you have a next door neighbor, if you belong to a church, communicate with someone in your life. Don't wrap yourself up in a shell, because loneliness really is a death sentence. And I hate to be so frank, but it is really one of the things that is making so many people die earlier. Especially when you are older, staying connected with people will bring you a vitality to your life. Now, these are some of the less talked about aspects of aging that do go beyond what I talked about before, diet and exercise and moving. Quite honestly, I believe that this YouTube channel is maybe helping me with my longevity. I don't know, nobody knows what's going to be happening tomorrow or in the next hour. It's just how we think and how we nurture our spirit as we age. When I wake up in the morning, the biggest joy for me is that I go downstairs, I make myself a cup of coffee, and Mushu is in a cage. I opened up his cage and I pet him, and he's so excited to see me. He gets up on my lap, and I turn on the music and I listen to soft music, and I have Mushu by my side, and I'm enjoying that cup of coffee. He and I both look forward so much to that morning moment that we have together, and it starts my day off with such joy. And this morning I did it a little bit differently. I made coffee up here this morning. I went out on my side balcony. I got my coffee going, and I ran down and got Mushi, brought him up to the balcony outside, and I sat outside and watched the sunrise. Excuse me. I watched the sun. I don't know where I am. I watched the sunrise with him this morning, and it was so peaceful, and it was so glorious. And I said, thank you, God, for this moment. Thank you for the blessings that I have in my life. It just takes Some small thing like that. You know, having your kitty curled up beside you, being able to feed the squirrels or the birds maybe that are outside. Listening to your favorite song. You know, the other day, my daughter-in-law sent Arthur and I for Christmas one year cups, really nice cups, and on the cups she had pictures that were taken with us, with the children. And I happened to use Arthur's cup yesterday, and I looked at that cup, and on the cup was a picture of him kissing the hand of my little grandchild. Well, the wave of loss and nostalgia just hit me, and I cried. I cried in a way for happiness because he is no longer suffering, and I cried for my emptiness that I have in my heart. But the tears also were for joy that I still have my wonderful children and grandchildren with me. Mixed emotions. But I was able to, in a moment of sorrow and grief, I was able to bring myself up and make something positive of it and take that moment of joy for what I do have right here and right now. When I do that, it creates moments of happiness in my life. Being able to weather life's struggles and not let them really knock you down on your knees without your being able to get up. Resilience. I believe that is so important to longevity. When you're young, if you don't get all the good grades that you wanted in school, you just work harder and you make it happen. If you get fired from your job when you are younger and you feel that you are never going to work again, it's not true. The right job will happen if you work at it and if you don't give up. So many people that I have spoken to in my life, and when I was an anchor woman and I interviewed some of the most famous people in the world, they all had something in common. And that thing was they never gave up. They never quit trying. They never let defeat knock them down so hard that they couldn't get back up again. It made them more determined to prove everybody that they could do it. When I look at my life and look at your life, how about those things that happened to you in your life and you thought you were never going to be able to survive, but you did. You didn't give up and you kept moving on. And I think that resilience has a lot to do with longevity, being able to go with the flow and to realize that today is today and tomorrow is another day with another opportunity and another chance to get it right, or another chance to have something wonderful happen to you, or another chance to work at your problems. We mustn't let life defeat us. And I think that people that I've spoken to that are older than I am all feel that way. Life has been a gift to them, and every day, whether it's been a struggle or just full of all terrific things, they felt that they were so glad that they were here, and they found joy in their life out of no matter what was going on around them. Now, that sounds like a Pollyanna, but it really is true. No matter what is going on in your life, if you can just find that little bit of joy, It will help you weather the storms of life. So, is there a secret to longevity? Maybe not. Maybe it's just how we approach every single day and how we think about life as we are on this journey. If we live our lives with purpose, with connection, with joy, and with resilience, maybe those are the secrets to longevity. And remember, no matter your age, you have the power to live your life with purpose and vitality. It's up to you. You are the master of your day-to-day life. You're not a master of things that happen to you all the time, but you are the master of how you think about those events in your life. You can create your own path to longevity, your own unique path. So keep moving, keep loving, and keep having a purpose in your life. And most importantly, keep on living each day to the fullest with joy. Thank you, and I would love to hear your comments below. How do you think about longevity, whether you're young or old? And I want to dispel the fear of what's going to be happening in the future and the fear of maybe wondering about, is there a secret to longevity? Thank you, and I hope to see you again for another conversation on Tuesday. And if you're out there and you are lonely, please know that you are not alone. And you are truly, truly loved. Thank you, and let's all pray for world peace. See you again.